Whatever your mountain, whether it's Mount Fuji or the Matterhorn, Kilimanjaro or K2, Mount McKinley or Mauna Kea, AltaVista gives you new perspective, a new way to look out across the internet, to search and to find, to speak and be spoken to share in confidence. AltaVista allows you to take it all in, with a whole new line of products that make the internet a hard-working universe for you. AltaVista lets you know your mountain and stay on top. After all, it is better up here. For the business of the internet, the high ground is AltaVista.
Good morning, or good evening as the case may be. I'm Louis Monier, one of the scientists that brought you the AltaVista search engine. I've been asked to be a host today for what I believe would be an industry-first cybercast. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome all of our various audiences around the world. Beginning, of course, in France avec Paris et Valbonne. Bonne soirée à tous. Next, to Rotterdam, Stockholm, London, New York City, and right here in Cambridge. Most importantly, I want to give a special welcome to the thousands of desktop participants around the world, from Russia, China, India, South Africa, and virtually every continent on the globe. In addition, we have audiences in over 70 digital locations in North America and Europe attending via our digital video network. And a special hello to my friends in Palo Alto. You know, the vast and diverse audience we have assembled today actually represents the internet itself. Big, constantly changing, made up of virtually every interest and language on Earth. The internet, we believe, is an excellent metaphor for the new digital. It is fast, customer-focused, and easy to do business with. It is the very embodiment of connectivity. So, we are pleased to be bringing you this first ever cybercast on such a grand scale. It is an historic event for us at Digital, and we hope for you too. Before I introduce our program, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the technology behind the event. First of all, we're transmitting live via the internet to all locations. In conjunction to this, we have a satellite telecast. The result is we're able to bring audiences around the world together with video, real audio, and constantly refreshed graphics. I'd like to remind you to fill out those questions cards you received when you registered. We want to know who you are, where you are, and more importantly, what question you have for us. Believe me, we will make every effort to answer your questions. While we will not be able to answer all questions during the Cybercast, I promise that we will get your questions as soon as possible following the programs. We will post your questions, even the most embarrassing ones, and our answers on our new software website. So, give us your best shot, we'll give you ours. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Bob Palmer, Digital's chairman and CEO, who will talk to you about Digital's long-term involvement with and commitment to the internet, and Eileen Lang, Digital's vice president in charge of the Internet Software Business Unit, who will discuss the specific plans and products we're announcing today. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Palmer.
Thank you, Louis. I want to welcome all of you who are joining with us today online. Louis just informed me that in addition to the standing room only crowd here in Cambridge, there are more than 3,000 people signed on to view this announcement on the internet, with more to come. This is great. I'm told that this is the first time a company as big as ours has used the internet to communicate to such a large audience in such a spontaneous way. And I suppose it's appropriate for Digital to set this precedent. After all, we did not begin thinking about internet computing only when we saw its popularity explode. In fact, it's fair to say that Digital pioneered networking and interactive computing, and we were the first computer company with a site on the internet's predecessor, the ARPANET, If you look at an old site map of ARPANET, you'll find that most of the sites were hosted on digital PDP-10s and 11s. So our connection with the Internet and its predecessor goes back more than 2 decades. Since then, digital has set a number of precedents. We were the first computer company with an Internet domain, the first Fortune 500 company with a website, the first corporation to establish an Internet mail gateway, the first with an Internet firewall, and one of the first and largest private TCP/IP networks. We were also the first computer vendor to use the Internet for interactive ordering, which generated more than $150 million in product revenue in the United States last year. Of course, in today's rapidly changing environment, the question customers ask is not, what did you do last year? It's, what can you do for me today? And that's why we are here in Cambridge at Cybersmith Cafe, linked to sites around the world on the Internet and via satellite, including the World Wide Web Consortium meeting in Paris, and groups that are gathered in New York, in Rotterdam, Valbonne, London, and Stockholm. We want to show you some of the ways in which we're putting our years of experience to work for our customers, how we're enabling them to become more productive and more competitive, and how we're helping build the new computing paradigm of the 21st century. Last fall, when we unveiled our corporate strategy, we discussed our commitment to connectivity and internetworking. Today, the Internet defines connectivity. When it comes to linking people and information, the Internet is going to be as revolutionary as the telephone was in redefining the way we work, the way we do business, and the way that we view the world around us. What we find when we talk to customers is that the competitive rules are changing, and changing very rapidly. Companies need to be able to do business anywhere, anytime, using an interconnected workforce deployed around the globe. They need solutions that connect the desktop with enterprise resources and that provide essential links to other businesses and information beyond their enterprise. They need solutions that encompass voice, data, video, and multimedia, all delivered directly to a desktop computer or other network appliance. They need to be able to build a virtual organization that gives them flexibility to respond to competitive opportunities and new and innovative ways, and to create new distribution and communication channels linked directly to their customers. By helping businesses meet these challenges, digital will help shape the new computing paradigm, and we will build on our position as a leader in providing comprehensive Internet solutions. Digital's commitment to the Internet spans the company, and it encompasses software, services, and Internet-ready systems. Our strengths include at least the following: high-performance networking, Intel-based servers, our leadership, 64-bit alpha architecture, including the platforms, the operating systems, and literally thousands of applications, network and systems integration skills, storage solutions, global service and support, and as you will see today, Internet connectivity software. In addition, our Internet solutions benefit directly from the alliances and the partnerships that we are building with world-class companies like Microsoft, Oracle, Computer Associates, Netscape, Open Market Inc., MCI, and others who are working with us to help shape the interconnected world. Our objective is to differentiate digital by demonstrating our ability to deliver comprehensive Internet solutions. Solutions that enable companies to expand their market reach, increase their productivity, and connect and collaborate securely with partners, suppliers, and customers. The Internet Software Business Unit that we are formally launching today is a critical part of digital's Internet connectivity strategy. Its charter is to provide Internet software that enables customers to find, to manage, and exploit information critical to their businesses, both within and beyond their enterprise. To achieve this objective, we're focusing on 2 fast-growing markets: the public worldwide Internet and the rapidly proliferating private networks called intranets. To serve these markets, we're launching an entire family of products based on the software used by our highly successful AltaVista search service. They include specially designed search engines for corporate intranets, companies, and work groups and individuals. Our new AltaVista family of Internet and intranet software solutions has been created specifically to make businesses run better, faster, and safer across the network. In addition to our new search engines, these solutions include security and collaboration products, all of which promise the same kind of leadership performance demonstrated by AltaVista. I'm pleased to announce that Computer Associates, as part of the strategic alliance we signed just last month, will support the new AltaVista family of software. Computer Associates will integrate AltaVista software into their business solutions, enabling customers to better manage information across corporate intranets. I've participated in the launch of a lot of products and new technologies, but it is very hard for me to think of anything that has caught the imagination of so many people as pervasively and as quickly as AltaVista. You know, it's only been 5 months since we formally introduced AltaVista, yet it has become the most comprehensive and effective search service available on the internet anywhere. It's powered by digital 64-bit alpha server systems, our advanced networking, and sophisticated software technology. AltaVista has revolutionized internet searching and indexing. Just a week ago, Internet World magazine awarded AltaVista its industry award for outstanding service. And AltaVista is showing up consistently as one of the web's most popular sites. For digital, this is a very exciting moment, but it's just the beginning. We will continue to deliver innovative products and services and form partnerships that will take you the advantages of vast new opportunities made possible by the internet. Our goal is really very simple: to make digital your internet partner of choice. And now let me introduce our next speaker. Last September, we outlined our strategy for digital's future. A key part of that plan was to create a new connectivity software business unit. To head the new organization, I promised to recruit a senior manager from outside digital with experience in running an independent software business. In November, Eileen Lang, formerly a senior vice president at Lotus, joined digital to lead this venture. Eileen and her team have taken our vision of the future and molded it into a pretty exciting here and now. I'm pleased to introduce Digital Vice President Eileen Lang, who will tell you about her organization, our AltaVista-based products, and her plans for the future.
Thanks, Bob. It's really exciting to be here. Cambridge, New York, Paris, London, Stockholm, Rotterdam, Valbonne, and people from all over the world online. Thanks for joining our Cybercast, and thank you for your interest in what we're doing. The business of the Internet Software Business Unit is to meet the needs of cyber workers, business people who use the Internet and intranets to do their work. How? With products that solve real problems of work and business, and I'm going to demo a couple of them in a little while. And with a business model that lets you exploit the power, ubiquity, and cost-effectiveness of the Internet. We have been researching this. We've asked you what you need, what you want. We've studied technologies and trends. And our response is AltaVista Software, a family of products and a style of doing business that lets you quickly find useful information, communicate and collaborate in a secure environment, and manage the work and business process. And it all starts with the AltaVista search service on the internet. At the surface, AltaVista seems so simple, but behind the scenes, it's the most complete, up-to-date index of the entire internet. 30 million web pages, over 15 billion words. Every word on every web page is indexed and available within seconds. It's like magic. And if you haven't used AltaVista yet, let me show you the magic. So here we are on the AltaVista homepage, altavista.digital.com. And we're going to search for something that's a hot topic in technology, like NT. Put it in, and within a couple of split seconds, here we show that there are over 400,000 entries. Now, these come from all over the world. And as we scroll down and look at some of these, you can see that we have, here's one that has come from Germany. Here's something else in French. And it goes on, as you can imagine. Well, this is very comprehensive. It's very powerful. It's maybe a little overwhelming. Let's zero in on something that is a little more targeted, like NT clustering. Now I'm going to put that in quotes because then AltaVista will treat it as one word. Enter it, and let's look and see what's here. Well, we have some information from digital, and this works like any other kind of web page. You just click on the highlighted entry, and it takes you to that web page. You can look down through here. We have something about digital and Microsoft, our alliance partner. Further down, we have more announcements. And so you can see it's focused in on something that's much more manageable, still is comprehensive, gives you what you want. This time it's about 55 entries. A lot of people use AltaVista for things besides work. They use it for fun, for vacations. So I think we can look at something here, something that some of my friends have said is their hot vacation ideas, going barging in France. Now, put a little plus in front of each one of these words so that it will only bring up web pages that have both the word France and barge in it. We'll submit this, and very quickly, this is all live here, we can come back with information about various kinds of tours for barging in France, and this particular one takes you to a brochure, just like anything you do on the internet. So that's kind of an example there. And then one other thing people do a lot of, you know, like they can't remember the name of something, like maybe their favorite restaurant, and they haven't been there for a while and they can't remember the name. So my favorite restaurant is in the Summer Palace in Beijing, and let's get that one in here, and we'll, excuse me here, all my typos as well as all the correct ones. And let's find a restaurant. I know there's a wonderful imperial restaurant there. And we'll look, and maybe it's a little slower to go to China. But here we come to the Summer Palace in Beijing, and wouldn't you know, Disney World also has a Summer Palace. Well, that's the world today. So this is just some examples. I hope anybody who hasn't tried AltaVista yet will try it. We get testimonials all the time from people about how much they like it, how it's changed, what they do, and how they do it. There are several technologies that make AltaVista so powerful. Digital's Unix and Alpha servers, Digital's networking, and of course, some very powerful software technology. Two important parts of the software technology are the Super Spider, which is the fastest in existence. Over 3 million web pages a day worldwide are crawled by this spider. And the indexer, which indexes a gigabyte of text an hour and produces links to every word on every web page. This technology is what lets you enter a few words and within seconds retrieve a listing of relevant web pages. So, AltaVista, the search service, is a showcase for digital technology, software, hardware, and networking. But it's also become a tool for using the internet in our everyday business and personal lives, over 8 million times a day and growing. People all over the world are using AltaVista to do research, homework, to find people and places they've lost touch with. We receive unsolicited testimonials and thanks every day from people whose lives have been improved by using AltaVista. We will continue to enhance the AltaVista Internet Search Service with ongoing research. And we will also expand this service by partnering with mirror site operators around the world to bring the AltaVista experience to a broader global community. This will result in improved response times for distant users who encounter performance bottlenecks as they try to reach to AltaVista in Palo Alto across the oceans. We will improve that performance by locating mirror sites in various parts of the world much closer to big communities of users. We will also encourage our mirror site partners to localize the home pages and to translate the help and other relevant information, and even to add regional content so that AltaVista, as it comes to your neighborhood, will be even more useful and friendly and something you want to use over and over again. So we will be announcing the mirror site partnerships over the next several months. Please stay tuned. So Now, imagine applying this powerful technology inside your company and using every day at your work, in your environment, just what you use on the World Wide Web. That's what we're doing with the AltaVista software product family. AltaVista Search products will be created in 3 versions: Enterprise Edition, Workgroup Edition, and a Personal Edition. Initially, these products will index HTML and text documents and make it as easy for you to find information in your organization, on your corporate intranet, on your LAN, or even on your PC as it is to find web information in China. Today, we are announcing 2 pilot implementations of the AltaVista Search products. The first at Xerox Corporation's Wilson Center for Research and Technology in Rochester, New York. They will be piloting all 3 versions of AltaVista: Enterprise, Workgroup, and Personal Edition. A second pilot partner is DataTimes, an online information service provider in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. They will be piloting Enterprise and Workgroup editions. All 3 versions will be available for general beta testing in June. The Personal and Workgroup editions directly downloadable from our website, and the Enterprise edition through a registration process, which will also be available on our website, which is where we're going now, to a new website for our business unit, AltaVista. Let me get it in here now so I can show you exactly where we're getting there. AltaVista.software.digital. I got a typo in there. digital.com. Welcome to our webpage. It's the front door of our business. Let's take a tour. What I want to show you is a little bit around this webpage, some of the services, some of the products, and get into a couple small demos. So this webpage has a sitemap for navigation, and what you can see graphically here is that we have news and information. We even have a net history that will give you the history of the internet starting from 2000 BC and going into the future. So someday when you want to take a little bit of time and see everything that's happened, all the milestones, please check into this, and if we're missing anything, please send us an email and let us know, okay? Or even register on our site and let us know. We have a What's New section, and this is where you'll be able to find out about new products, find out about announcements, new products ready to be downloaded, that kind of thing. And right here, it's showing that today what's new is Internet software products, AltaVista software from our business. So I've talked a little bit about the AltaVista Search. Let me introduce you to a couple of other products. The first thing that people talk about when they think about internet and intranet is that they worry about security. So I might as well show you our Firewall product first. The point of a firewall is to protect your intranet from intruders. Let me show you how it works. Here's a little animation coming up that demonstrates how we've got our internal network here, and here's the gateway machine that has a firewall on it, and outside of that is the internet. Now, when an authorized user comes in, that information, that transmission can come through the internal network. But when an unauthorized user, a hacker or somebody who's maybe not malicious but just making a mistake, tries to come in, the firewall protects the internet, the intranet from being penetrated. So it's very secure, it's very flexible. Our firewall is easy to manage. It's available on Unix and now on NT as well. So this is one of our products. Let's think now about the people who are authorized. How do you let the authorized people get in? Your salespeople, your travelers, your telecommuters, branch offices, people who you want to have connected to your intranet to improve their productivity. we have tunnels for them. And the tunnel software allows people to get access to the intranet, share information. You can use the internet if you want rather than dedicated telephone lines. If you do that, it's far more cost effective. There's complete encryption and authentication, complete total security end-to-end from the user to the network, and it's firewall independent so that you don't have to change your infrastructure in order to provide that kind of security. So let's say you've got your unauthorized users out and your authorized users in, and now it's time for them to get down to work. They can work using AltaVista Forum. They're securely connected. They can share work and information using our award-winning collaboration server that's available on Unix and NT. Any client using a standard web browser can participate in discussions, in sharing documents, can upload and download information to and from the forum securely. They can participate in threaded discussions, and a new version 2 that we will be introducing later this summer will allow electronic conferencing across the internet. The current version already uses AltaVista search technology to find specific information, and we even allow voting, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So many of you may have noticed that we have a roundtable. We've tried to get people to take a look at this roundtable. It's a feature of our website where we will have a number of discussion groups going on. We'd also appreciate your ideas about what kinds of topics you'd like to see discussed. And the first one that we have right here is a question that's about, are you an internet pioneer? So we've asked people to register and vote. Let me just check and see what's here right now. This is based on the AltaVista Forum. The question is, are you an internet pioneer? We have 32 responses so far. We can check into this topic and actually see who the people are who have voted. So far, of our responses, 50% say they are early adopters. One person, 3%, says they're an internet pioneer. We have a lot of rapid followers, a few mainstreamers. And when you're ready, get on this site, click on reply, and answer the question and tell us why. We'd love to see your results. So that's an example of the kind of activity that we can provide on the roundtables. And as I said before, please help us make it something that's really exciting and interesting for you. We do have 2 others right now, sharing AltaVista stories, which we love, and user hints and tips for using AltaVista. But let us know what other kinds of things you'd like to have. Now, there's other information that's available at your fingertips on this website. We have put all of our technical support information on the website. And this is something that I hope everybody will start using. You can, once you're registered, which I've done already, you can log in and go product by product into all kinds of specific information that's there. Since we were just looking at forum, let me just take you there to the AltaVista Forum. And what you'll see is we're in the discussion area where there's information and you can log in discussion questions. We have a library with technical information. We have facts, answer to frequently asked questions. I believe that it's in the library where we're going to have evaluation kits. This is where you can look to find versions of AltaVista Personal Edition and Workgroup Edition and other products to download and try out. And we also have an Ask the Expert. If you can't find the information here already, send us a message. It can be a public message for the discussion forum or a private message if you click here, and we'll get the answer to you for your needs as quickly as we possibly can. So we also want to show you one more thing about how you can do business with us at altavista.software.digital.com. This is the front door to our business. Finally, it's up. Welcome. Okay. This is where partners can register for electronic communication and transactions. So if you're a potential partner, please sign in. We want to know about you and we want to do business with you. Okay, so let me just sum up. Digital's Internet Software Business Unit is open for business with AltaVista software products and services that will help you use the Internet and your intranet productively to accomplish serious business and work in Cambridge, New York, Paris, London, Stockholm, Rotterdam, Belbone, anywhere on Earth or in cyberspace. Our mission and commitment are to support you in solving real problems of work and business using internet and intranet connectivity easily and cost effectively. We're excited at the prospects. We're really pleased that you're here. Thanks for coming, and now let us take your questions. Louis?
Well, we're now starting our Q&A session, and we have already received a number of questions from all of you all over the world, including email. Let's see. The very first one is from Rotterdam, and the question is, what are your internet success stories? And I think I will let Bob handle this one.
Okay, well, I'd like to have two. The first is that I just got back from an international trip. I spend about 25 or 27% of my time as CEO traveling to see our customers and our partners. And it's very interesting to me. I was in Korea, I was in Australia, and I was in Europe. And wherever I went, people came up to me, whether they were journalists or financial analysts or customers, and said, I've tried AltaVista, and I'm really impressed with how quick it is, how responsive it is, how I can find anything I want, which gives me a tremendous opportunity to talk about 64-bit computing, Digital's networking capabilities, our software capabilities. So for me personally, it makes it very easy to visit these various locations and customers and to talk about something that's of interest to all of us. It's also something that I can personally use wherever I am to find out information. A non-business application not long ago, I had the good fortune to meet one of America's astronauts at a restaurant. And this case was Alan Shepard, who's from New Hampshire. And when I got home, I thought, gee, I don't really know much about Alan's history as an astronaut. I think I'll look for it now, AltaVista. If you look at Alan Shepard, you're going to find tens of thousands of listings. But if you look at Alan Shepard Apollo program, you're going to get specifically the date, the payload, the number, of the fact that he was on the moon. You also get a hypertext link you can click on, and it'll take you to NASA's Space Center. Then you get a picture of the Earth as seen from the moon with the lunar module in the background. So it's very entertaining. But also then it gave me a better appreciation for Alan Shepard. So it's whether it's for your personal use or for business uses, I think you can find it very exciting and easy to use.
Okay, second question. This question came from London. Is AltaVista a polite spider? What is your policy on bandwidth during indexing? Louis, how about that?
AltaVista is probably the most polite spider we know of. I've taken special care to make sure that the spider only works on one server, takes one page, runs to another server at the same time. It has found, on the last crawl, 230,000 different servers throughout the world. So there's plenty of servers to go around. So we're really trying to minimize the bandwidth. You should also remember that spiders are only interested in text, which is typically very small compared to any picture. So when you browse, you use a lot more bandwidth than a spider.
Very good. Okay, there's a question here that I'll take on availability and pricing. When we have our products announced formally in beta on our website, we will announce specific availability times and specific prices. Now, let's see, we have another one here from Rotterdam. The question is, you are not known in the internet industry. What are you going to do to change this? Bob?
Well, I think this is a good example of what we're doing. We are known by the scientists and engineers that have used our equipment and networking and are familiar with our capabilities. But I think in the general sense, we haven't had as much hype as some of the things that you can't actually use. Today, AltaVista is technology that you can use anywhere in the world. You can use it today, and it's going to be useful to you. And we're doing things like this Cyber Cafe introduction to raise our profile. I think the most fun thing will be is you can start to get the new products that Eileen has talked about and get very familiar with what digital 64-bit computing and software capability can provide for you.
Thank you. Here's a question from Paris. Why the name AltaVista? Louis?
I take it. Well, it came, of course, out of a little brainstorming session. But we kept it because we thought first it It was a good name in the sense that it means high view or high point of view in Spanish, so it went well with the mountain. And the other reason is it's easy to say in just about any language. And that's another aspect of this thing that we want to maintain, is universality.
Here's a question that came in online. How will AltaVista operate in a private network behind the firewall? Well, I think Louis and I will answer that one together. First, we have to train AltaVista to recognize the firewall, right?
Right, and to know what inside means.
Right. You want to say a little more?
Well, at this point, what you have is a number of ways of controlling. Would you like to run the spider at night? Would you like to run it in sort of a low-key mode throughout the day? It depends on your enterprise, or whether it's geographically diverse or what. But essentially, the idea is you train the spider to remain inside, give it some sort of a schedule, and it would go and crawl your intranet and gather all the pages and index them.
That's great. Now, there's a related question here. Let me just find it. Will it be possible to search 3-year-old backup archives? An ad on page 6 of the website suggests this possibility.
I think the answer is quite simple, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, and I'll add to it. Okay.
I'm not sure if this is an intranet or internet question.
Well, let's answer it both ways, just to be
Both
sure.
ways. Internet
Okay.
only if you put it on the web.
Okay. If
Intranet.
for an intranet, as you put it on your intranet, the archives can become available. But if it's today, if it's in HTML or text data as you put it up, the search that we have today will be able to index it and make it available. We will be adding more kinds of data types, both doing it ourselves and working with partners to make it available, so that archives of other kinds of data will also be available. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
Okay. Here's a question from Rotterdam. Are you going to have advertisements on your AltaVista search on the World Wide Web? Today, we are a non-commercial site. We do not have advertisements. We plan to keep it that way. We want to make more and more technology available to make it more useful and more available. We are not planning to use advertising, though, in the meantime. I think we're running out of questions here that have been called in. Here's one right in the audience. The question is, when will we be coming out with localized versions of the AltaVista search software? Okay. The answer is that the products will start to become available in beta during the summer and into the fall. Different localizations, different languages will require different amounts of time, but we expect to have many of them, most of them, available this calendar year. Other questions? Yes.
Discuss whether you'll be using resellers to distribute, value-added resellers to distribute the software, and what kind of alliances we can expect there.
Okay. Question is, are we going to be using value-added resellers, and will we have alliances to distribute the software? The answer is that yes, we will be working with alliance partners and value-added resellers to tailor the products in the ways that the end users want to have them received. So that in some cases, for example, the AltaVista Search Enterprise Edition will probably be most used with system integration capabilities, and we will have system integrators as partners. We have some of those partners as other business units in digital, and we will have partners outside of digital as well. The AltaVista Forum product has many resellers and value-added tailoring capabilities already added, and there are many sites. If you look on our website under the AltaVista Forum, one place you can click is who's using it, and you'll see some examples of some of the products that have been made available by our resellers already using the AltaVista Forum.
You know, if I can add to that,
Please do.
In my remarks, I mentioned that Computer Associates is going to incorporate AltaVista software in their products, but we've also had inquiries from a number of our alliance partners and independent software vendors to explore the same opportunities, and Eileen will be talking with them, and certainly where it makes sense, we would welcome their use of our technology and their products.
Okay, here's another question. What are the prices for the different AltaVista search products? We will announce specific prices when we have the beta versions available off of our website and the registration for the Enterprise Edition. Trying to... And then another one about availability. How long will it take if it's in beta test now? We'll ship them when they're ready, and we'll announce when that's going to be as soon as we've decided. Thank you. Okay, well, I can't see. How long will the AltaVista search service be available to the public free of charge? As you all know, the internet is a fast-changing environment today, and our current plans for this foreseeable future is that these search services will be free. That's not the products, mind you, that's the service on the internet, and we intend to keep it that way. Many of these questions are very similar to ones that we've answered already. Here's one. Will the personal AltaVista products also be available on the Macintosh? If so, when? If not, why not? We would love to have a partner work with us to make the personal versions of the products of the AltaVista search product available on the Macintosh. So if you're a potential partner for that, please let us know on our website. Okay. Here's another question from Valbonne. Microsoft, one of your strategic partners, is also pushing software solutions for the internet. Is AltaVista in competition with Microsoft? How will this affect your strategic partnership?
Well, it's not in competition with Microsoft, and in fact, Microsoft has expressed interest in the technology. And I think that we, in this industry, have many opportunities to both compete and cooperate. Digital has a number of partners, just like Microsoft, so we don't see it in any way competitive with our strategic alliance.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Here's a question from Paris. Can you respond to the recent article in Wired magazine that mentions thorny copyright issues in AltaVista keeping such extensive information on its pages?
I'll take that.
Louis, thank you.
First of all, you have to remember that the Super Spider cannot access any information that is not being put on the web for public access. If our spider can find it, you with a browser and no special permission, no password, can get it as well. Now, there have been cases where people have put things on the internet that they didn't wish to, and they take it out, and we take it out immediately as well. We try to help them. In terms of copyright issues, it's just a problem of what is being put on the web publicly. Was there another aspect to the question? I'm sorry.
I think it was just about
for digital, frankly.
copyright issues.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is not. It is not. There is another aspect, which is the Usenet news groups, which we also index in addition to web pages, and Usenet article expired after a few weeks, and we don't try to keep an archive forever. This is a question that is asked very often. We just treat Usenet groups like conversations. They're on for a few weeks. You can search them, retrieve the article. After a few weeks, they expire. They go away forever.
Here's a question about the market and competition. As you enter the internet market, who do you see as your major competitors, and what will be your major differentiations? Do you want to talk about that broadly,
There are a lot
Bob?
of competitors, obviously, because there's so much opportunity, and it's impossible to forecast who we might be competing with in the future. But digital's focus is on bringing a compelling value proposition to our customers. A good example is AltaVista itself. You know, we introduced AltaVista on December 15th of '95, and I believe during the first week we were averaging about 300,000 hits a day. We had a relatively small, at least for digital, server that was doing the indexing and a few workstations. It was a small situation. We never advertised AltaVista, but word spread and demand grew, and within a few weeks we were hitting 3 and 4 million hits a day. And as Louis mentioned, we were up to 8 million hits a day today. Throughout that entire time, we were able to add computing power and networking capability to grow as demand grew. So it is a very good showcase for one of our key differentiators, 64-bit scalable computing. The fact that you can add capability as your needs grow, because in the exploding opportunities that we all face in our businesses, it's very difficult to forecast with any precision how much capability will you need. With digital 64-bit scalable computing, you can add that capability as it develops, and it's very inexpensive to do so. So I think that this is going to be a key differentiator: 64 bits, alpha, networking, and software expertise.
Here's another question that's come in from New York. When considering a web server platform, why should I choose Digital's Alpha platform, either on Digital Unix or Windows NT?
Well, I just answered that question, at least for the enterprise class computing. Because one of the things that so frustrates those people that use the internet frequently is if it's very slow to respond to your query. As you've just seen in the demonstration, and as you can see on your own, AltaVista is remarkably responsive, more than 100 times faster than other search and indexing systems. This is made possible not only by the very innovative software approach that Louis and his team had taken to the design of the system, but also to the very high performance platforms on which it's running. I mentioned we started out with a single alpha server. Today, if I'm correct, Louis, I look on there from time to time just to see what you've got, and I saw we have 3 8400 systems, each with 10 processors, 6 gigabytes of main memory on each one of them, and a couple of 100 gigabytes of RAID storage to support each system. That's pretty serious computing. So depending on what your requirements are, you can grow with 64-bit platforms and capabilities from Digital. And as I mentioned, Digital has 64-bit Unix. Today, Digital provides 2 64-bit operating systems, while most of our competitors have yet to introduce a single 64-bit operating system. So that would be the answer to that question, or at least one of them. Another answer that I shouldn't hesitate to mention is, if you're an international company, as many of our largest companies are, Digital has worldwide service and support, critically important to making sure that your investments are supported appropriately.
Here's a question from Paris. I am terrible at filing paper documents in my office. Will AltaVista help me?
As long as your documents are turned into just about any electronic form. I think we are planning in the personal edition to support 140 different formats. So all the version of words and database that you can think of, mail that will be on your PC, will be able to search, to index and search that in a split second.
I
So
can't
the answer
wait.
is yes. Paper, I don't think we can do yet.
Okay.
You have a
Yes.
question here?
You both mentioned foreign partnerships. Can you talk a little bit more about that for the AltaVista, like what areas of the world you see setting up neurosites, and of course, in general, the other products, what do you mean localization partnerships?
Okay, so the question is about partnerships outside of North America, really, outside of the U.S. What do we have planned for mirror sites?
For neurosites and for other products.
And for other products. We plan to have mirror sites in Europe and Asia. We are not at this point in time ready to announce any of them, but we will over the next several months, as I mentioned before. But this will be very much distributed around the world. And these will be partners who will work with us, invest in the AltaVista site, the mirror site. We will have a single crawl, one spider, worldwide, and we will share the index with our partners, which they will deliver to their users. There was another part of the question for Bob?
About other applications.
About other
partnerships.
applications.
Well, what I was saying there is that Digital is very open in looking at opportunities to share our technology with partners where it brings more value to the customers. During the last 12 months, we've announced 4 major strategic partners with the leading software companies in the world. And we're quite open to looking at and considering how we might better partner with major independent software vendors, telecommunications providers. And so we're very open, and since we are distributed around the world, I think the opportunities for Eileen and her business unit are quite substantial.
Great. Here's another question from New York. What multilingual translation features do the AltaVista products, specifically the Super Spider, have?
Well, right now, I think I can say fairly that we do a good job on all ISO Latin 1 to speak technically languages, which means Western languages. English, French, Spanish, German, Dutch, Swedish, and so on. Those are treated fairly. There's some difficulty around Asian languages. They are harder to index. We're working on that. We're trying to really cover as many languages as possible at this point.
Great, thank you. Here's a question from New York. It says, for Bob Palmer. I love this question. Why not increase your investment even more in this key area? For example, why not buy the top search engine spots on Netscape and other pages? Why miss out to Yahoo, Lycos, etc.? It's small money for DEC to do this.
Well, I think you have a very good point, and clearly the Internet Business Unit is one that Digital is going to support with appropriate levels of investment. We run our company by business unit, and so it's up to the leader of each business unit, in this case Eileen Lang, to bring forward proposals for investment, and with those proposals, by the way, come guarantees for return. So this is not my money. This money belongs to our shareholders. So I'm fairly intent on getting an appropriate return for the shareholders. We are, though, very interested in this area. It's an exciting area. It's explosive, and it showcases digital technology.
Here's another question from Paris. What exactly do the new AltaVista products do in terms of benefits to business? There are 3 key benefits to business that we want to emphasize here, and they all focus on using internet and intranet technologies applied to problems of work and business. Those are to quickly find useful information, and as we extend the products, including legacy data, and make that available to all users on an intranet and in the extended environment. The second is to provide secure communication and collaboration across virtual networks and across the internet for the extended enterprise of partners as well as employees, and including employees in branch offices, home office, traveling, on the road, that kind of thing. And the third is to support the management of that distributed environment for web-centric users. So those are the benefits that we expect to bring to business. We see all of our products, our offerings, our services as being very cost-effective, as promoting productivity, and of making it really easy for you to use internet technologies to make your business more productive, to work better with your customers. Here's a question from Paris. Are you going to develop payment mechanisms for users to buy products on web page formats through AltaVista? I'll interpret this question a little bit liberally. We will do business with customers, certainly with partners to begin with, and eventually with customers and users directly over from our website. So today, as Bob mentioned earlier, digital is a leader in doing business over the internet with our partners. Last year, we did over $150 million worth of business across the internet. We will do that as part of the Internet Software Business Unit with our AltaVista products. And we will, down the road, as it becomes more available, implement technologies for secure transactions with end users. Want to read this one? Do you want to do this? From London.
From London, a very technical question. What is the ratio of index to original material? Well, the answer is, given the kind of indexing we do today with every word position and nothing thrown away, essentially, it's about 1/3. You could build an index that doesn't have some of that information for much less, like 1/10 possibly. For different users, that would be the right thing. But right now, it's about 1/3.
Here's a question from Stockholm. What about the company at the URL address www.altavista.com? Has Digital closed a deal with them, and on what terms? Well, actually, I tried to look for them yesterday, and they weren't there, but maybe they were just hiding. We are using the trademarking AltaVista as a name. They are using it also with our support and our permission, and they will continue to do so. They often have a button from their site to ours. If you're looking for altavista.digital.com or altavista.software.digital.com, be sure to bookmark it, and then you can go to those sites directly. Yeah, go ahead.
Another one from London. Lots of technical people in London. What enhancements will be seen made to the web-based AltaVista? Well, in one word, we know what you want, and we'll give it to you. Essentially, we're working on various improvements. I mentioned already trying to support Asian languages. We're working on, well, I shouldn't. We're working on surprises.
Yeah. Thank you, Louis. That's great.
Very good. Very diplomatic.
Very diplomatic. I think we need more questions. Do we have questions here? Yes.
Can you talk about the collaboration software and whether you feel it competes against Lotus's Note software and whether it has replication capabilities?
The question is, can we talk about the collaboration software, whether we think it will compete against Lotus Notes and whether it has replication capabilities? So let me just say very in summary that the AltaVista Forum product is an internet-based, internet technology-based product. It allows a user with any standard web browser on the client to collaborate, share documents, and participate in discussions with other users on a single server. The product is not an infrastructure product. It does not require that you roll out a whole infrastructure worldwide. You don't have to have multiple servers, that kind of thing. It allows people in a very short period of time to do what's called web collaboration. It's a different category of product. Does that answer your question? Yeah.
Yeah, well, how will that, talk about price or on that at all? I mean, in general, in a range like less than $1,000 a server?
The AltaVista Forum product is available today. The price is, it's a tiered pricing. It depends on the number of users that use it. It scales anywhere from 5 to 500 users for a forum, and it's available as we introduce the NT version. We will have a pricing announcement. Okay?
I think we've answered most of the questions that have been submitted, that have been coming in, and we very much appreciate all of your participation, your interest in our products and our software in particular, and in AltaVista. And we encourage you to use the products. I think you'll find them very impressive and answer a lot of your questions very rapidly. We're excited about this new Internet Software Business Unit that Eileen Lang is heading up for us. And Digital is totally committed to the Internet and Internet software. We look forward to doing business with you, and we look forward to other announcements of this type in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you don't have questions, it's good to wrap up.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was a lot of fun.